Oh, man, I love when good things happen to good people. I do. When people earn it, when people get good things, when they work their asses off and good things happen. And now you all get to enjoy it more. And I'm not talking about Josh, although good things happen. He works his butt off. Alden does too. Micah got his new vehicle. But when you tune into the Sports Animal tonight and you get to listen to Lobo women's basketball against Midwestern State when they open the season, and then when you tune in next Sunday when they play Sam Houston State, I believe it is, and all throughout the season, the voice of the Lady Lobos will be JJ Buck, and I am really, really stoked for him. Hey, congratulations, my good friend. I'm pumped for you, and to me, that is the biggest story in town, and that's worth leading our program with. Congratulations, man.
Well, thank you so much. It's definitely still a surreal moment, finding out yesterday that I was indeed the direction that they were going with, and it's great. It's congratulations. Oh, by the way, you got 24 hours to get ready for the first game of the season. So it was a bit of a
game tomorrow night.
whirlwind afternoon and evening, just putting the work in, getting ready for UNM women's basketball tonight.
Yeah, nobody deserves it more. Nobody works harder, is more prepared, and you're going to take this chance and run with it. And I'm pumped for you, man. I really, really am. And I think Lobo women's basketball fans are going to really enjoy listening to you and with the passion, and you'll find your niche and you'll find your way. When I got my first TV job, good buddy of mine, John Ireland, who's now the voice of the Lakers, said to me, I was all pumped, and I was working at KUSI in San Diego, and this is what I wanted. I got it. I was going to Yakima, Washington, and he came up to me and he says, "Hey, you haven't done anything yet." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Congratulations, man. You got the job, and I'm stoked for you, and you got an opportunity to do great things." He says, "But now you got to go to work." And so now you got to go to work now, right? Sometimes the hard part's getting the job, but you got to go to work. And I know you will. And like I said, man, I know nobody deserves it more. I am so incredibly impressed with the professional you've become. I've got immense respect for the man you are. And you and I have been together for a lot of years, man. And I'm stoked for you beyond belief. And just congratulations. And congratulations to this community, because I know they're going to get to enjoy you. So
thank you so much, Jeff. You've definitely been an amazing part of my professional career and just life overall. Someone that was willing to give me a chance way back in the day, let this young kid that had no idea what was going on learn and grow in this business. And watching everything that you've done, this has definitely been a professional goal and dream of mine, is to take the next step in this area and be a part of a team in this capacity. And you're right, man, it's the thanks, and have fun putting in the work.
Yeah, have fun with it. Don't ever forget why you're doing it, because you have a passion. Just have fun with it. And there'll be days in an airport or travel or equipment is gonna give you a hard time. Just remember you're doing something you love, and just remember to have fun with it. And if you're having fun with it, the listeners will hear that you're having fun with it. It's the opening drive on a Friday morning. What's up, y'all? Glad you're with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda and the voice of the Lady Lobos, JJ Buck. Micah is producing back at Radio Ranch in downtown Albuquerque, and Alden and Josh are producing on the ProView side. There we go. I was like, damn, I didn't see you guys, and I still don't see you guys. What's going on with my view here? I'll figure it out. I got to figure. Oh, that's a good looking what Alden's wearing today. All right, JJ, ready for another big weekend? I know you are. Your weekend just kind of took a turn, though, didn't it?
Got just a bit busier this weekend, so pretty much packed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all the way through.
You got games, but you'll get into the football. So yeah, now you've got to figure out how you're gonna do all this, right? I mean, it's kind of cool, actually. What do you know about Lady Lobos?
Well, I'm actually excited about this team. There's some players like Celine DuPont is going to take the court in the front court for the first time, a redshirt freshman. There's only 2 seniors on the roster, and I'm looking forward to catching up with Mike Bradbury actually a little bit later this morning, right after the show. I'm just get some insight. What's it like that you guys have been able to practice? So many questions that I'm sure that they were finally able to answer some of those over the last couple weeks about this team. And they'll take the court twice today against Midwestern State, the Mustangs, and then Sam Houston State on Sunday. And then they'll have one more game, and that's it for them. And then they got Mountain West play at the end of December.
The Bearcats with a K, Sam Houston State, correct? The Bearcats.
Yes.
I see you've ditched all the New Mexico Bowl gear, and now you've gone to the Lobo sweatshrt, which
I didn't ditch
totally
it all.
Totally understandable. Totally. Alden's representing today. He's got the blue. Somebody's got to be wearing one today, right? I mean, every day somebody's going. Josh, you not have any stuff? Are you wore yours yesterday? Yeah. So Mike has got his hat. I got to get Micah some gear. All right. We'll start with college football. Lobos in Wyoming tomorrow. You'll hear that game over on News Radio KKOB 7:30. JJ Buck will have the pregame show. If anybody ever doubts, Micah, who the hard and look, you work your butt off, and I've always said Vital is the hardest working man in radio because I think he is. JJ Buck's going to give him a run for his money now. So JJ will have the pregame show at 7:30, and then 8:30 they'll kick off in Las Vegas, a home game for UNM against Wyoming. You got to talk to some people yesterday, Isaiah Chavez, who basically is just really trying to absorb all this because your fifth string quarterback, I said your fifth string quarterback very well may be out there at some point taking snaps. You're starting your fourth string quarterback, it sounds like, against a Wyoming team that's pretty good and has their eyes on the postseason tomorrow.
Right, if there ever was a time for the running game to work, it would be tomorrow. That offensive line takes some pressure off these quarterbacks. And one thing Danny Gonzalez was talking about was even early quick throws, try to gain some confidence, but ultimately it's on Bobby Cole. It's on Nate Jones. These guys are going to have to show up, play hard, and game where grind it out, time of possession, you'll probably see them slow it down even more so and just find a way offensively.
Wyoming 2-2. So at the top of the league right now, and I have no idea, and I tell you this with all sincerity, how bowl bids are going to be, if they're going to peel off the top, if it's going to, I don't know. And I think all the Mountain West Bowls are still alive, right? Pac-12's lost 4, and I don't know where all those teams are going to land. But you figure you got to start peeling off the top. San Jose State's 4-0. Boise State is 4-1. Nevada, and I'm talking overall record. Nevada is 5-1. Fresno State is 3-1. After that, you got a bunch of 500 teams. San Diego State's 3-3, Hawaii's 3-3, Wyoming's 2-2, and then after Air Force's win last night, they improved to 3-2. So I don't know how this is going to work, but I know that all these teams are trying to win as many games as they can to find themselves an opportunity to get in the postseason. So this is a big one for Wyoming. You've got to stop their running attack. And I should have looked at this, but I'm going to guess you did. Xavier Valade, a go or not? Do we think for Wyoming?
Sitting there still with a questionable tag. And unless it's a season-ending injury, that's pretty much all you're going to get sometimes out of these college programs is, we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah. All right. And so we'll see. I was on TJ's show yesterday, and I still get to go. I get to do that, unless you want to start doing that. Do you want to start doing TJ shows too? Because you can.
No.
If you got some time in the afternoon. He was asking me, what should Lobo fan think about this team? And, here they are. And we kind of got into the conversation that I felt yesterday. I said, if it was inverse, you'd feel a lot better. The last two, and if there's a third game, what does it mean? When you're running your fourth and fifth string quarterback out there, I don't know what it means. You want to improve, you want to get better. And so I'm almost asking the same question that we asked back in the summer. What do you expect and what do you accept over the last 2 or 3 football games of the season? I know you want to win. I don't know if you're going to get one, to be honest with you. I mean, Wyoming and Fresno State are playing pretty well, but maybe they are. But what do you want? What do you lost to a Utah State team who got blown out last night. Again, you're playing your fourth string quarterback, but what do you want to see that makes you realize, okay, they're getting better? Because I told TJ, look, Rocky Long, Danny Gonzalez didn't forget how to coach. What they've done over the last 2 decades, to me, is proven successful. At some point, they'll get their guys in there. So what do you need to see the last couple games?
I think it's the simple things. Uh, what is it, maximum effort that they talk about? Because you have to lower your expectations when you're on your fourth string quarterback. It's just the way it is. And if you're not able to stay on the field, if you can't move the football, it's already going to be a challenge for defense against such a good team up front that can run the football. I think you have to lower expectations, and you hope that the team matches the effort and the physicality that Danny wants to see out of them, because I think everyone believes, as much as next man up mentality, you're going to play that game, you're focused, you're locked in. Fourth string quarterback. So it's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. So I that's my question for Lobo fan today. As we go into now December, you got an 0-, what are they, 0-5 football team? What is it you want to see? James is disgusted. He calls Danny Gonzalez, he calls him disgusting. After watching Utah State get blued out of the built last night, loss to the U-Tags should just infuriate Lobo fans even more. I don't think anybody feels good about that. Maybe it should infuriate you more. What was the final? I turned it out way at 28-7. What did it end up? Bunch.
I think it was 35-7.
All right. Yeah, I get it. It was a bad loss. So what do you want to see? We'll get into that. I want to get into college football. We'll get into a lot of NFL stuff today. A high school football player in Texas blindsided a ref. Like, not just hit him in a game, but took him out. We're going to get into that. And what's amazing about that to me. Rockets talk. So there's a ton to do. We're open for you today. 505-246-0610 is how to get in. Jeff or JJ at 610knml.com is the email. Jeff or JJ. Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. On the Twitter, JJ's at _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, it's the OD in the AM. We're also on ProView Networks. You can watch the show live on ProViewNetworks.com or go to our Facebook page again, the OD in the AM. We get into some NFL news when we come back. We got a big week in the National Football League coming up. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
You've seen.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Let's play it over to Madrid. Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really Oliveris. Wild three
And some tidbits for you as you go into the weekend. Joe Burrow did have his surgery, and they say that the Bengals rookie superstar, well, not superstars, I would say he's a Bengals star quarterback, should recover well. Josh Gordon reinstated. So the Seahawks, JJ, get another weapon. They've got two really good wide receivers. I don't know which team you think has the two best wide receivers. I know we started the season saying that the Cowboys have the three best. I'm not sure I think that anymore. But you add Josh Gordon to DK Metcalf and Lockett, and let's see what he looks like and how good he is. Josh Gordon, look, here's a guy that never has come close to achieving what you would think his potential was. He's struggled with substance abuse. He's been suspended. If he tests negative for coronavirus now, that's his negative test. It's a whole new take on negative tests for Josh Gordon these days. But I think as they go down, and look, I think they're the favorites for the Super Bowl in the NFC, Seattle right now. I think you've got to put them as the favorites over Tampa, certainly over New Orleans, and I think over Green Bay. And you add that's just another weapon. I'm not telling you it makes him exponentially better. I just think it's just another weapon for Russ.
Potentially. It's a guy that unfortunately you can't count on. With the issues that he's had, and he's been reinstated before and then found himself on the outside. First and foremost, you just hope the guy is in a better place in his life, and he'll be able to play week 16 and 17 of the NFL season, but you also don't know how much he's going to be able to do. Where the Seahawks confidence level is with him bringing him in. I think it's good depth to have, the potential moving forward. I don't think we'll see him on the football field all that much because to your point, that offense has found its rhythm. Chris Carson is back healthy. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and then whether it's a David Moore combination of the tight ends that they have, Hollister, Dissly, they're really in their groove. And I think that the defense has had its moments. It's better. That's still the biggest question mark for Seattle, but it's a team that if they happen to get in the shootout or they need Russell Wilson to take over, he absolutely can because he's been there and done that before. And when it's all been on his shoulders, as we saw earlier this season.
Yeah, I don't know that you're not throwing this guy. This is why it's a good place for him. He doesn't have to go in and really be a difference maker, right? I mean, there are differences made. He can add. I didn't realize he's been around since 2012. It's been that long since he's been in the league or bouncing around the league. Supplemental draft guy, but he's only played 67 games. He missed the first two games of 2013. He missed 2015 and 16 when he was with the Browns. Suspended in December of 18 again for violating terms of his reinstatement. He must be really good because he keeps getting a lot of chances. And I would assume this might be close to the end. Seattle gave him a chance, and again, this is the right situation. A, with a coach who's not taking your crap. B, with a locker room who's not taking your crap, and what did I say, A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3, whichever the third one happens to be, in a team that is grooving and is not going to let you screw them up. And so you're either going to fit into what they're doing, or you're not going to be around much longer. And it's really the only situation, because you throw him into a volatile situation, a place where he can be a mess, a place that we need him. It gives him an opportunity to really hurt that situation. I don't know him. I saw an interview with him, I want to say in the off season, where he claims he turned it around and he realizes what he did, and here's why his demons were. And I'm with you, man. You root for the young man, because addiction is a horrible thing, and this might be the only situation where it can work.
Yeah, it's one that he had such a high ceiling. What he was doing when he came into the league and on those Browns teams that did not have a quarterback. And this was a guy that was putting up 1,000-yard season. And it's crazy to think that, as you said, he's only played 67 games. So yet there's still this Josh Gordon, like this want to see him get back to that level. And I don't think he can do it at this point in time. He might be just a nice player. But when you come in with just 2 weeks left in the season, you've missed so much time, there can't be an expectation on you. At this point in time, it's just about, can you stay eligible and a part of a roster?
Yeah. All right. So Seattle is going to get him back, and again, we'll see how much time he gets. There's been a lot of talk about Tampa Bay, and right now they're not a playoff team. And how this meshes, and whose fault is it? And I sit there and I sometimes, not sometimes, I tend to chuckle at the whose fault is it talk. I don't know what people expected. Well, I guess I kind of do. I mean, I think people expected this. You're going to put these two guys together, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And Tom Brady's in a different system, probably with more weapons, but he's 42. Is them not being in a playoff position right now, and I still am not convinced they won't get there. Playoffs right now, it's Seattle, New Orleans, Green Bay, and the Giants. Yes, I chuckle when I say that. Well, actually, they are in the playoffs right now. Mm-hmm. They are in the playoffs. They're in the playoffs. And I misspoke. It's them and the Rams and Arizona. They are in the playoffs. Is the fact that they're 7-5, is that a good thing, a bad thing? Is it on Arians? Is it on Brady? And I'm going to just tell you, it's on everybody. I don't think Tom's played incredibly well. By the way, Bruce Arians is a good coach, but he's never really, as a head coach, been amazing. And it was going to take some time for this to work. I think next year is the year that they should shoot for, if Brady's skills hold up. I don't know that I told you, I picked New Orleans to go to the Super Bowl. I picked out of the NFC before we started. I didn't think they'd win the division. Are they disappointing, or are they about what you thought they'd be?
I think you have to say they're disappointing, even in year one with the chemistry. And a lot of people all across the board felt that they would immediately be a Super Bowl contender because of the defense and just simply having a quarterback that wasn't going to throw 30 interceptions. I think the biggest takeaway for me is how much perceived back and forth there's been between Arians and Tom Brady, and like how shocking it is for Bruce Arians to maybe say something negative about Tom Brady, and then all of a sudden people like, oh my gosh, is Tom going to handle this? How's Tom Brady's feelings after you called him out for throwing a bad pass or not throwing to Mike Evans? I think that's been the most bizarre thing to me about this situation, is how that relationship has played out in the media, and then everyone worried like Tom Brady's going to respond negatively to all this. Yeah, he's getting pressed a little bit. He's still a quarterback that you have high expectations for. Ultimately, you adjust and say, well, where's he at in his career? Or he's still good enough to be pushing that football downfield at times, has the weapons. So you understand that coming in, this window is not as big as Tom Brady thinks it is. So that's why the expectations are high. Bruce Arians is grinding hard on him because, to your point, this year and next year, can you really count on this team 3-4 years down the line?
No, I don't
Brady?
think anybody is. No,
so I think that's why there's still so much pressure. Is it just can't be it was just year one, because you might only have 2 legitimate years locked in with this group offensively.
So Tom played for a coach for 20 years who didn't say anything. There was no, when Bill, how do you think Tom played? I think he was fine. I'll go look at the tape and we're on to Cincinnati, right? I mean, there was nothing. Now you're playing for a coach who is pretty verbal, who is pretty talkative when it comes to the media, who always has been. And so for the first time since college, Tommy's got to respond to some sort of a criticism, some sort of a critique that comes from internally as opposed to externally, right? The critique has always come from the media, the newspapers, the talking heads, whatever. I think Tom's handled it fine. I think people have blown up about it. I haven't heard. Have you heard Brady say one thing about it? Have you heard Tom Brady say, who is he to talk about me? He never won anything in his life. Like, he could. He could.
No, I'm with you. Brady has done a good job, and it's been like how dare you say something like that about Tom? You're going to hurt his feelings. How's he going to respond?
Yeah, you and I are on the same page. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think he's handled it well. He's done what he does. He kind of smiles and just, he's right. I haven't played well. And Tommy could come out, and maybe he will at the end, say, who the hell's this guy? I got 6 rings. 6? 7? How many's Tommy got? 6? I got 6 rings. What's he ever won? Him in that stupid hat. But he doesn't, right? And honestly. And so I think he had to know what he was getting into. He wanted a different look. He wanted a different pace. He wanted a different system. He wanted a different everything. He got it. I'm going to go back to the conversation we had all summer. Tell me the guy who was great throughout his career and went somewhere at the end and won. And there isn't that guy. Maybe Peyton Manning, but maybe it's Peyton Manning, okay? But he didn't win at the level that Brady won. Namath finished with the Rams, and Unitas finished with the Chargers, and Montana finished with the Chiefs, and you've heard all these stories, right? And they didn't win. But we all thought, well, this guy's different, and he still may be. Look, I'm not counting that team out because I don't think the Seahawks or the Saints are invincible, and especially the Saints playing without Drew Brees. Seahawks have been beat. While their defense is getting better, I don't think they have a Super Bowl caliber defense. So Tampa Bay could. I don't think they will end up in the Super Bowl. But I think Tommy's handled it incredibly well throughout this year as far as the criticism and the change. Now, he hadn't played great all the time.
He's still completing almost 65% of his passes, has 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That offense still can be so explosive. I mean, you look at when they've played some of their worst games, it's against the best teams in the NFC. So that's a challenge. When you face these guys again, what's going to be different? How much is going to change for you? And Tom Brady's not invincible, and that's what we've seen. Everyone's talking about Tom Brady can't handle pressure. Well, there's very few quarterbacks that can handle pressure up the middle, get out of the pocket, and make plays. He's not quite that guy anymore. So it's what do you have to do as an offense moving forward? Is it mesh more of what he wants to do, or this is, hey, Bruce Arians, you came here to play in my offense. Byron Leftwich is calling plays. Let's go. And maybe there's still some of that going on. Just what are they most comfortable with? But there's still a team that, to your point, you're not going to count them out in the game. There's just too much there to say they don't have a chance.
So I guess the conversation for you all is where are you on Tampa Bay? Have you counted them out? Are they a contender? Is it Tommy's fault or Arians' fault that they're not wherever you maybe thought they were, or is this who you thought they were? What are the Buccaneers at this point? They're 7-5, and to me, they're a contender. And that guy tends to do pretty good things late in the season. I'm just saying. He finds ways to win late in the season. Yeah, there's always a stinker on Monday Night Football somewhere. There's been a few more this year. But I don't count them out. I don't at all. Hey, think about this. Somebody may be watching your home. Somebody might be watching your business. And if a criminal wants to break in and they notice when it is you come and when you go. Aaron Jones owns International Protective Service, IPS. It's the security company that I've trusted for years to watch my home. It gives me and my family peace of mind. I see their vehicles out in front of the house. They're here every single day. They patrol. And now that the holiday season's here, you're going to have packages on the porch. Everybody is. It's just, there's almost no getting away from it. Don't be a victim of porch pirates. Call IPS. Protect what's important to you. When you can't be home, when you can't be at your business, he's got highly trained armed officers who can be the eyes to protect your home or your business. With on-site guards or 24-hour patrols, the bad guys then cannot predict the good times to target you. Call IPS 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or you can go to ipsglobal.com. They are committed to making Albuquerque a safer place to live and to do business.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
To create space, he gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Could be coming in soon. Double kick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis, all the way, coast to coast, and finish. What a...
Around the screen, against White, step back, it's blocked! JB with the block!
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go, they've got a shot, they have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good! What a three that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up. Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz.
It's a big one for the Browns because they haven't really beaten anybody. Although they're 8-3, this would be a big one for them. I'm interested in Colts and Texans because the Texans are playing better and the Colts are coming off a big loss. Rams, Cardinals, two teams coming off of losses last week, two playoff teams, two teams that you had to scratch your head about what happened last week. Rams lose to the Niners at home. Arizona was on the road in Foxborough and lost. So that's a big one. Division leaders in Seattle, JJ, the Giants and the Seahawks. When was the last time you had two division leaders go at each other and it was a 10-point spread? Huh? Where's Elias looking that one up? So you got good ones. And then you got two on Monday night and one on Tuesday night. Two on Monday night. Yeah. Or one on Monday afternoon. Washington and the Steelers at 3 in the afternoon. Bills and 49ers. And then on Tuesday, you got the Cowboys and the Ravens. And that will be an evening game. I mean, we're all over the map with this stuff. All over the map.
We're at the point it's just about just find a way. If we get a little Monday night doubleheader, some Tuesday or Wednesday football, so be
That's
it.
what you're getting. Yeah, that's what you're getting. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah produces for us back at Radio Ranch. And Alden and Josh are producing on the television side, on the video side, sporting the logos at ProView Networks, where you can watch the show, ProViewNetworks.com, or on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Dan says 5 goofy-looking dudes of the OD crew, Jeff. I think Jeff is still the busiest, he says. He says, in addition to his appearance on the Big Stick yesterday, I saw his mug on my screen last night as UCLA got back on track with a win over Seattle. Yeah, I had a coach last night. He said
that little coaching job on the side.
Yeah, I'm coaching UCLA. He said the second busiest is Micah. As his Clemson Tigers have a big game tomorrow night, he could be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys next season. Yeah. And then there's you with your little side gigs. I mean, so you got a little basketball game to call tonight. And
That's true. It's impressive that Micah is able to show up, produce our show, make it to practice, and be eligible for Dabo Swinney.
It's tough. It's tough, but I make it work,
Yeah. Josh, Alden, I see Alden kind of going, what's he talking about? I've been told that I look a little like Mick Cronin, the head coach of UCLA, or he looks like me. And that Micah, and look, Micah absolutely.
Oh, no, I've seen the resemblance.
Yeah, Micah absolutely looks like Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of Clemson. Yeah. I mean, absolutely, it's Trevor Lawrence. So a little doppelgangness.
Have you tried it yet, just to see if anyone will call you Trevor?
Get a little white headband, Clemson shirt, and see.
Walk around.
And head on down. And head on down to South Carolina and see how that game rolls for you. I'm just saying, it might get you in trouble at home, but let's see what it does for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
You got to get to a Clemson game, walk around, because there will be so many people that have been enjoying themselves. They'll be like, oh my gosh, it's Trevor Lawrence. Let's get an autograph and picture.
And when you pull up in that slick new Honda,
it's perfect, because it'd be like, oh, Trevor. They don't pay Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. They do it the right way. He's driving a Honda Civic.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah. See,
I'll have to work on my TL signature.
Yeah. Figure that out. Just
have a new career path. Trevor Lawrence impersonator.
You can sign body parts. I'm just parts is parts, man. Parts is parts. Lobo Hobo says, what does this mean for Nikki Heckroth? He says, so JJ, if you haven't heard, was named yesterday the voice of Lady Lobo basketball. You listen to him all season here on The Sports Animal, beginning tonight against Midwestern State. What time's that game start? 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
Damn, dude, you got work to do. All right, so since JJ isn't in Texas, I assume he'll be calling the game from Pumped-In Video, says Lobo Hobo. In this COVID era, JJ, you know more than I probably, or maybe you don't, I don't know. But it sounds like you're going to be doing most games remote and not doing a whole lot of traveling this season.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some of that involved this year, just dealing with all the circumstances. Nikki is still a part of the broadcast, and I'm so excited to work with her. Unfortunately, she won't be available this weekend, but can't wait until I get a chance to work with her and call some basketball games.
Yeah, kind of like what I'm saying, man. Isn't Katie Kern available, or Tamika Stooks, or Abby Garchak, or Dion Marsh, or I mean, there's got to be someone who can. Who'd you got, Josh? Who'd you say you got? I mean, somebody's got to be available. Micah, can you help him out? So it's good, but JJ got that gig, and I'm stoked for him. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. The other thing in the NFC I want to hit you on. Here come the Vikings, I think, and the resurgence of Kirk Cousins, because I thought he was brutal. I think he's played really well the last couple of weeks. They get games with the Vikings and the Lions, and who they got this week? They're like a 10-point favorite over somebody. They got the Jaguars this week. I still think the Vikings have a chance to make a run and get in the playoffs. And if they do, I think they have enough offensive weapons that they can win a game or two. Do you think I'm out of my mind?
I think what you're seeing out of Minnesota is an unexpected passing attack. I think Justin Jefferson has been fantastic. It's been a really good rookie class of skill position players.
But we knew that at the draft, right? Remember all the receivers that were drafted back at whenever the draft was? Not that it seems like 100 years ago. But remember how many receivers went, and we were told then, oh, this one's great. I mean, from Jerry Jeudy to CeeDee Lamb, how good a receiver class it was. Yeah.
But to see it actually play out with so many guys excelling this year, and playing off of Adam Thielen, yeah, Kirk Cousins should definitely be better than he has been at times. When you have Dalvin Cook and then those two guys to throw to on the outside, it's still going to be tough because you look at the games they have sandwiched around the winnable opportunities. Of course, Jaguars this weekend, which, as we know, you can't take anything for granted in the NFL, especially with how Minnesota came back to win the game last week against Carolina, and that's one that's still hurting if you're the Panthers with how you lost that one by 1 point. But, it's Buccaneers, Bears, Saints, Lions. So that's 2 winnable games and 2 really tough games. And when you're right there on that verge of chasing that 7th spot, can you win one of the unexpected? And that's what it's going to take for Minnesota to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they can. And I think that's a team that the one that just befuddles me is losing to the Cowboys at home, right? That's the one for them that if they miss out on the playoffs by a game, that's the one that I think you look back on and just go, what? That was Andy Dalton's game back, right? And then we all said, oh, look, the Cowboys might be, maybe they got something going. Andy Dalton's, what are we talking about? That whole, I mean, come on now, right? But that was what, 2 weeks ago?
Fool me twice.
Yeah, keep fooling me, keep fooling me. 505-246-0610. When we come back, Leon Rice is the head basketball coach at Boise State, and the Lobos were supposed to, I don't know if supposed to, they were scheduled to, how about that? Scheduled to play Boise State yesterday and tomorrow. They're not. They didn't. He's not happy about it. What he had to say and our thoughts on that next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
In the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20!
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer. Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak ahead of the pack. Davina Lovato up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake, double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, head up the middle's got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
Option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Portell.
The outside of running an out route.
Davison on the play action, looking. He's going to go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown.
So Davison back to toss, and he's got all day. It's one miss, and he's rolling,
He's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
We told you he
touchdown.
could spin that football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the wind at his back, but
Has that ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass, wrap around pass.
All right, this is a direct quote. We have to fight to get these games in, whether it's a competitive advantage or not for some teams. That's just the way it is this year. That's got to be the bottom line. We were really, really disappointed. We should have been playing tonight, end quote. That's Leon Rice, the head basketball coach at Boise State, talking about games that he felt should have been played last night and tomorrow against New Mexico. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah produces on the radio side, Alden and Josh on the video side. JJ, Boise State, by the way, had another football game postponed this weekend. They're losing games left and right. They wanted to play. Conference had originally scheduled San Diego State, Colorado State, and New Mexico, Boise State to play this weekend. Lobos just started practicing inside of 2 weeks ago because of what's going on in this state. It's a different circumstance. These other schools have been going for months. They've had off-season workouts. They've had practices since September. They are incredibly far ahead. And if you needed an example, take a look at New Mexico State's game last weekend against Arizona Christian that went basically down to the final possession. I know it was a 6-point game, but if you watch it, it went down to the last 10 seconds of that game. New Mexico State should be able to handle Arizona Christian. Now, it would have been a competitive disadvantage. I don't think Leon Rice cares. He wanted to play. There is a point in there that, yeah, we've got to find a way to get these games in. And there was another way to get these games in. That was postpone them and put them later on the schedule. It was disappointing to Leon Rice. His team is thought to be one of the better teams. They've been playing. They're out playing games, man. They played games all last week. I think they played 4 or 5 games already, right? It would have been an incredible advantage for them over New Mexico. They'd have blown New Mexico out of the building probably. Is he right? Or does New Mexico have a point? Because I think New Mexico had a point here, and the league obviously finally saw that.
I think his statement is right, but not in regards to this specific game. It's one that the Mountain West, they saw what was happening. They knew what was happening. So scheduling the Lobos, they were only one of 4 teams that was given a conference game at this point in time. So I think it was a mistake by the Mountain West Conference, first and foremost. And then also for Leon Rice, it is a huge competitive disadvantage in the conference race, which I understand. While he's saying, well, that's on them. That's not
how it is.
Fault. But for the Lobos, that's your season. It's conference play and what you do in the conference tournament. And to have maybe 10 practices and not even a game against anyone other than a conference opponent, it was an incredible challenge, and you're going to have to step up at some point in time. But I'm with you. I understand where New Mexico is coming from. I get the frustration, but I think it was the right thing in this case to reschedule the game, because I don't even think the Mountain West should have put them on this opening week of conference play to begin with.
So I'm looking for schedules right now. Why not? And I guess the answer could be because nobody else had open days. I'm going to guess almost everybody else has games this weekend. But why put New Mexico there? Why not pick somebody else? Why not? Nevada's playing. They played San Francisco yesterday. I guess so they couldn't have played. Or they played San Francisco 2 days ago. But why not? And UNLV just got back. I don't know. I'm looking. Why not San Diego State? Why not Wyoming? Right? What if Wyoming went up there? Because yesterday nobody played. I'm just looking at schedules real quick.
Colorado State and San Diego State were supposed to play.
I know.
But the Rams had issues in their program.
So why not put San Diego State up there, since San Diego State was scheduled to play conference games in that window anyway, and appease? And the answer might be because Boise State and San Diego State were supposed to play in San Diego. But then move that series down there and play it anyway. My point is, if Boise State wanted to play so bad and you needed the games for TV, why not, to appease Boise State, have San Diego State, who, by the way, isn't playing this weekend because they were scheduled to play Colorado State? Why didn't they put Boise State and San Diego State together? And they would have had their television commitment taken care of. And I'm going to guess the answer is that San Diego State and Boise State were supposed to play in Boise. So what? Or in San Diego. So what? Go play that series now, and you'll have other stuff later. And I guarantee you would have been able to get a television truck in San Diego. If television was the issue, they already had one scheduled to go to Boise. It's not. There are plenty of television trucks that aren't being used in Southern California right now. And plenty of crews and guys who are out of work that are looking to go to work. Now, the issue might have been the curfew, but you could have played that game before the curfew. But my point is, if that was the issue, why didn't they move San Diego State, Boise State into that to fill these slots?
And that could have worked, because if that is supposed to be a Boise State road series, go play that. And then whenever that series was to be played, that opens up for New Mexico to slide in.
Yeah, wouldn't that have appeased him? TV, look, TV's still going to get this game. And from what I understand, the date's going to come out today when Boise State, New Mexico is rescheduled. So you'll hear today when that game is rescheduled. But if that was such the big deal, why not play San Diego State in Boise State this weekend? I mean, I'm not a commissioner. I'm just throwing out. I'm just a problem solver.
Through it, that makes a ton of sense. And getting to that point, all right, you want to play? I think the Aztecs are playing St. Catherine or something.
They played them on Wednesday or something, or Tuesday. But they were already scheduled to play Colorado State on Thursday and Saturday, so their schedule's open this weekend. I got to guess playing St. Catherine on Tuesday or Wednesday isn't going to preclude them from playing Boise State.
It shouldn't. And when you talk yourself through it, that seems like a logical way to handle this and at least get one of these series going if you wanted to have that played this weekend.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. All right, 505-246-0610. Here's what you got to look forward to this weekend. In Mountain West Conference basketball, BYU and Utah State are going to go on Saturday night. UNLV and Kansas State. Man, UNLV is 0-4. Did you watch them at all? I watched them against Davidson a little bit. How much of UNLV have you watched? I get it. They played some tough competition now.
I've seen bits of them against North Carolina, Alabama, and Davidson.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think they're going to be good in conference play. I think you see some of the deficiencies. They really only have one true big guy on the roster. They're not as fast or quick as you think a running Rebels team would be, but they can shoot, and that's what's really going to push them forward. If they have 2 or 3 guys that are having an on night, they're going to get some people in conference.
Yeah. All right. 246-0610. Let's hear from you. 888-922-0610. We'll talk some more college basketball. Got a big slate of college football coming up this weekend. Nick Saban and his Alabama team. Nick Saban will be with LSU, and he swears he's found the cure to the virus. Okay. I'm listening. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah, and Josh on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
As Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's going to walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown. Webskowski. Day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man! Touchdown! Wildcats! Not a defender inside. A little bit. Skowski on the sideline! Asta Manana! He's off to the races! Touchdown! Clovis!
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Rancho. Late in the third. How about this run. Nice play. Dickerman, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's Krebs. Touchdown.
What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow.
So State could have got up and played that series. Wyoming could have. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Josh, and Alden. We're talking about Lobo basketball. Leon Rice, the head basketball coach up at Boise State, was verbal about not playing the games against New Mexico, which would have been a huge competitive disadvantage for the Lobos. And what could the league have done? And Leon Rice could say anything he wants. There's an interim athletic director up there right now, so it's somehow the coaches are running the asylum right now. And so. From what I understand, San Diego State didn't want to play the game. Now, those are the two preseason favorites in the league, right, JJ? San Diego State and Boise State?
Yes.
So did you want to burn, and I'm going to guess, I don't have the schedule in front of me. Are they scheduled to play late in the season? I'm going to guess they didn't want to burn their premier, or what could have been their premier games in the Mountain West early in the season. So San Diego State went out and scheduled St. Catharines and said, no, well, we can't play. We're playing St. Catharines on Wednesday. But this is where the league probably, right, should have stepped in. If this was a situation, this is where I'm saying, if you had a situation where you needed the games for television, New Mexico can't play. You can't send New Mexico up there. UNLV's playing Kansas State. They can't play. Utah State's playing BYU. They can't play. Air Force has a game scheduled against Lamar. They can't play. But San Diego State, what about, Fresno State could have gone up. Fresno State can't play at home. They had a game scheduled against Pepperdine. Pepperdine can't play because it's Southern California. So unless is Fresno State's postponement because of COVID? It's not, right? San Jose State? I mean, somebody could have gone up there and played.
Lance, Rudy, and
they could have gone up and played it. 505-246-0610. All right, let's get started. Lance, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Happy Friday, Lance.
Good morning, Hippie. I can't wait to hear the howl. I mean, you should do a howl, not a hole. But anyway, for Vaxxer, really quick, I don't want to beat a dead horse to death. But the thing I was saying, not forfeit that game, was that they got to get tested, those quarterbacks, on a Saturday, like every other team got to do.
What are we talking about?
And then those players are eligible to play on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And I just... we're done with that issue. I'm sure you're tired of hearing about it. And anyway, so he went on T.J. Trout's show, I guess. I don't know, but was he talking a lot of stuff about Cleveland?
Not a lot, no. I mean, he's pretty fired up about his team, but
that's just the thing. I mean, 3 years in a row, the Broncos, beat him first at 99-yard drive. And I just thought I'd just give that up to luck and God. And then the next year, the guy fumbled the ball, and we got it, and it didn't call that because there's no replay. Then next year, we killed him with the stopping. So I just want to put him in his place if he's listening out there. We got your number, bro. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys going into the Lobo situation and in the Mountain West Conference and everything else. And that's the thing, is the sports fans, we don't get to play. I mean, we don't get to have our teams, at least through you guys. And JJ's coming around now to do the Lady Lobos, which I think is a great thing for us. I look back at Miranda Sanchez and that team they had, and they just were killing it.
Back in the day.
At least that's what we got to look forward to.
All right. No, that's good.
JJ, are you going to be there after the game where I can call you like at 2 in the morning, or?
I don't think I'm going to be up that late.
I know, but are you going to do the after show?
No.
You're just saying that because you know I'm going to call in.
You're going to have to.
phone.
Yeah, you're going to have to listen, Lance. All right, man.
Have a nice
Enjoy the weekend.
Do a howl, not a hole, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. I got Lenny just sent me a note. Said we tell JJ congratulations for me. So you got a congratulations from Lenny as well. For those of you just joining us, JJ Buck yesterday was named the voice of the Lady Lobos. He'll be doing play-by-play for Lady Lobo basketball starting tonight here on the Sports Animal. Who's next for me? What do you got? Rudy. All right. Good morning, Rudy. How you living?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Sorry.
You know, Leon Rice, I lost a lot of respect for him in that Mountain West Conference game when Bropel took Cam Barroso down by the neck, and Leon didn't want a flagrant foul called on that. And there's just a lot of things that he's done that I've lost respect for the guy. He looks for unfair advantages. And if the shoe was on the other foot and he had to come to the pit and he had no practices, he would be strong. I hear the guy crying right now. So why does he think that he makes the rules for the conference?
Because he's at Boise State. Doesn't Boise State kind of run this league? I mean, well, Boise State kind of runs the league, right?
Well, number one, they don't. Number two, I know he is so itching to beat UNM that he can't stand it, and I don't really care. And that game should not have been played. It never should have been scheduled in the first place because everybody's watched what's happened with the COVID protocols in this state. And we're the most locked down state. We're not allowed to practice. So the guy's got 75 practices with his team under his belt, and he wants to play New Mexico,
75.
who's had 0 practices. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I say...
Commissioner...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joey.
No, I mean, I
say... Commissioner to ensure fairness. So, you know, when presidents have to intervene, when medical teams have to intervene to get the game moved, I don't like that. It was wrong from the get-go. So for him to make a statement like that, all it's going to do is pour fuel on the fire. Boise State, I have very little respect for Boise Junior College.
All right. No, I appreciate it, Rudy. Thank you. Like JJ, I said
this weekend, you know, they got a tough task against Wyoming. It's the David versus Goliath, but I really appreciate Danny putting the team together and going out there and competing because it's going to lay the foundation for the future. And we'll see how tough the Lobos are because they're going up against a really tough Wyoming team.
Hey, what do you think of the new voice of the Lady Lobos? Huh?
JJ, you know, as one who sat in that seat years ago with Henry T., I congratulate you. I think you're going to do a fantastic job, and I'll be listening to all the games, and go Lobos.
Thanks, Rudy.
Really cool. All right, man. And by the way, I say Boise State runs the league. That's people's perception. I'm not telling you that's what I think. I just tell you I hear it all the time. I said it sarcastically, and I want to make sure it was taken in context. People tell me, oh, well, they run the league. And so I was just parroting that. Yeah, look, here. Everything's got to be fair. Everything's not fair. Everything's not fair. You're right. Everything's not fair in this day and age. But you know what's got to be somewhat fair is how you treat the student athletes. His student athletes are in shape and ready to go. New Mexico student athletes are not in shape and ready to go. They're not in game. Yeah, they may play a game, a tune-up game on Sunday or Monday, but they're not ready to go play one of the 2 best teams in the league on the road. They're just not. That's what their doctors say. At some point, you got to be fair to the student athletes. Would that be putting them in peril? Would that be putting them in a tough position? And I think there's an argument that says yes, right?
Yeah, and it's just take a step back. And if the shoe was on the other foot, Boise State wouldn't want to play a conference game after maybe 2 weeks of practice. And so that's what it comes down to. The Mountain West knew the situation, could have avoided this in their scheduling. They already lost conference games this week with what was going on at Colorado State, so you know you're going to have to change things. And the conference could have handled it better. I think Leon Rice, well, he can be frustrated and kind of presenting that, gets his fan base riled up. And boys, it's like, yeah, you don't want any of us, you don't want a piece of us. But the reality is he would be doing the exact same thing if it was about his team going, well, we can't open this conference. What, are you kidding me? We're not ready for this.
Micah, do you want me to take Edward now or go to the break? Where do you want me to go? All right, Edward, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, sir.
Well, hey, top of the morning to you. Today's a celebration, day of celebration, my friends, and if I didn't want to wait in line for 2.5 hours to get into Costco, and look at Easter decorations, I'd go buy you a cake, JJ. But you know what? I might go to the competitor and get the cherry lattice pie, like $8.99. It's fantastic. But congratulations to you, man. Your trajectory and continued progress and in your career, I'm so proud of you, man. That's awesome. I'm very happy for you. And like Jeff led with this morning, we're glad when good things happen to good people, and that's a very accurate statement. So congratulations to you and your family, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, I do have an idea, though. I think that you should have Lance, who Lancer is the sports animal answer. I think you should have him host the postgame show. That would be awesome, man. You got to pitch that to the powers that be. Lance, if you're listening, man, now's your opportunity, brother. Not to be called in, but to actually host the postgame show. Hey, didn't New Mexico State beat Benedict Arnold this weekend or this week sometime?
Something like that, yeah.
The Benedict Arnold All-Stars, or I had my annual eye doctor appointment yesterday, and you know I have a new doctor, and just in general conversation around, hey, talk to me about the intricacies of macular degeneration and why eye tissue is the fastest healing tissue in the human body, and why they don't replicate it for other parts of the body. Which she said, I don't know, that's a great question. I asked her, hey, where'd you go to college? And she got her undergrad down at State, and then she studied, optometry at Incarnate Word. And I said, hey, ironically enough, that's our biggest football win over the past 3 or 4 years, New Mexico. We beat Incarnate Word. And she goes, I was unaware of that. Thought it was
I was unaware of that. I was unaware of that. Shut up and read the chart. LCQPR. Is that an F or a T? Shut up. I don't care. Go. That's what she told you.
Exactly. You know what? Exactly. We went pretty close to that. You know, when Dr. Coleman did my LASIK surgery 12 years ago,
he's the best, man.
That's the best money ever spent,
no doubt. No doubt.
An opportunity, get it done. I didn't have a chance to extrapolate data for the 5-star picks. You know, it's been a busy week. That's how good Vegas is, guys. That
really good.
Ravens game, you know what the spread was? 5.
Right on the number,
you know
5, yeah.
Score was?
It was 4, or 5. It was 5, yeah.
19-14. That's how good freaking Vegas is. So I'm below the Mendoza line, I openly admit it. I'm going to pull back, kind of regroup, and then go for a late season surge with the 5-star pick. So I think we all are going to do that. Anyway, I appreciate you letting me vent a few things. JJ, congratulations again. And I hope you guys enjoy the weekend. I'm thoroughly going to enjoy it. Have a great day.
See you. Yeah, can you see the eye doctors going, yeah, shut up, sir, and read the chart.
With the letters, that's all I want to hear.
Exactly. Nope, sorry, wrong. We're going to have to redo your eyes. Exactly. All right, 505-246-0610. Please tell us the last time you went to the eye doctor. I'm kidding, kind of. I want to get more into local football. I got emails coming in, Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Safeguard against germs this cold and flu season. Safeguard hands.
And so
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. Guy goes. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. There's Natalia Chavez. Good spin. Takes a.
Ramos. Nice jump stop to the.
Maybe gambling a little bit. Oh, there's a.
got the second.
To the middle.
Here we go, 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's going to swing it out to Lowry. Lowry, Portillo couldn't get it off, and Clovis goes in. It's waved off. He did not get it off in time. Portillo.
Reverse layup. Gallegos spins. Window finishes.
There's a run coming from
Lazy pass. Here comes Crawford. It might be showtime. Sam. To shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the long three.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go. His
Ford driving kick. Three's in the air. It's good. Nice pass on the nice block by Hernandez Crawford.
and Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalan's gonna go and he puts it away. And Corbalan wants to put it down. But here comes Mascucci's Brown. You can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Gershon in transition, 3-on-2. Gershon gonna go all the way. Whoa, Morgan.
Moreno extra pass. And Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's gonna run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
I mean, Ramos' hand. And
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
boy, Jefferson wide open. Getting
Jefferson to Daraji! Into Watson with the jam!
Another steal by Davino Lovato, and here comes Agbaiosi. Lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. Devils is all over the place. Heck about the lob to Agbaiosi, the one-hand hammer.
Think Rams and Cardinals are good. Broncos are never good. Where are the Broncos? 14-point dogs to the Chiefs. Is that enough?
That's fair.
Chargers and Patriots are a pick'em, from what I saw. How are the Bills and 49ers a pick'em?
Oh, did you see the 49ers against the Goffle Rams?
Oh, they always beat the Rams. The 49ers beat the Goffle Rams. They always do.
49ers at home.
Fred on the line.
In that big,
healthy.
giant crowd?
defensively, yes, the Giant. They're not out. They're playing in Arizona.
They're playing in Arizona.
Neutral site game.
Yeah, that's right.
Buffalo's offense has been not great, but that's what good teams do. No matter the style of game, they find a way.
All right. So you're on the Niners?
I'm on the Bills.
Yeah. How do you not a pick 'em game? So that means they'll lose. I mean, whenever I give you one of these where how is this? I lose that every single time. Every single. I mean, as I looked at the whole thing, the easiest pick was the Bills. It's like, tell me what I'm missing. But every time I'm obviously always missing something. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Alden, and Josh were on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. This is Tella saying, I agree with Leon Rice. He says, it seems like Lobo Athletics is the only club capable of playing they reschedule for, Jeff. That's not right. I mean, look around the league. They're rescheduling all the time. Now, the Lobo stuff is different. He says, Leon Rice sounds just like Troy Calhoun last year when the Air Force contest was postponed for Najee Flowers' death. It's interesting. Is there a similarity there? I mean, does he sound like that to you?
I think he sounds like a upset coach, but the Lobos now they have company when it comes to being pushed somewhere else. San Jose State, the Arizona Cardinals, but up until a few days ago, they're the only team out of state. Like you just can't schedule them on the opening weekend. That was a mistake by the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, that was a huge mistake. I don't know why and with only 4 teams scheduled, why would they do that? Like they saw it was coming. They've dealt with all football. Why would they put New Mexico in that opening weekend? I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Fred, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good morning, Fred.
Hey, guys. Hey,
How's it?
I wanted to congratulate JJ. That's a really neat thing. I bet he's really excited about being the voice of the Lady Lobos. And congratulations, JJ.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey, I have a question to ask you. You're going to talk to Bradbury, you said, after your show's over. You know, what was kind of neat, that was kind of fun last year for the first time is Josh was able to have a player of the game come on after the game was over for the Lady Lobos, and I think it's the first year they've done it. And it was kind of an added plus, and I just thought, just kind of think about it, you know. So I don't know if you can do that with this, you know, what you're going through with this. I don't even know what it's called, the coverage via remote feed or whatever. I don't know if you can do it, but anyway, that'd be neat if you could ask him maybe if we can continue to do that, to have an athlete come on after the game's over, and then the last thing was, you know, I don't think a lot of us really realize what's going on with the football team. We're talking about a guy, Connor Janelle, that's a walk-on redshirt freshman that only played he only started his senior year in high school, and now here he is coming in and being a starter against Wyoming. It's going to be asking an awful lot for a guy that's only had 1 year that he's actually started football in high school, and then here he is, probably hardly getting any snaps. You know, so it's going to be. I just hope we play well and we keep it decent, and the kids play hard. I know they're going to play hard. But anyway, again, congratulations, JJ, and go Lobos.
Thank you, Fred. So JJ, the post-game stuff, and I filled in for couple of games last year, and I know I did a women's game last year. I know I did at least one. I feel like I did two. That was one of the things the sports information people really they did. I think both on the men's and women's side, where when I think Bradbury comes straight over after the game to do his post-game interview with radio before he goes up and talks to the media. But while Weir was up talking in the media to help fill some of that time on the post-game show, waiting for him to come down, they would bring a player down for post-game, and they did the same thing in reverse for the women's game. I remember having Bradbury, he comes straight over and does the post-game interview before he goes up the ramp, and then they would have a player come down. But I'm sure you'll work right. That's how that worked. What Fred's talking about last year.
Yeah, it's definitely something we've talked about. I'd love to keep that going. It's, there's a lot happening in such a short amount of time, and especially, given the fact that this weekend we're going to embrace the challenge and do the best we can. But definitely want to have player conversation. I think that's really important to have the connection with the coaches and the players for the fans. So we're going to do the best we can with scheduling this weekend.
Yeah, and for those of you who haven't heard, JJ was named yesterday the voice of Lady Lobos basketball, and you'll get to hear him all season long right here, starting tonight on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I got some more response to the Leon Rice stuff. Just the comments he made. I think this is, ultimately probably does, I think you're right, comes down to why would the league schedule New Mexico in that first weekend? If you're only scheduling 4 teams, 2 series, and you know what's going on with New Mexico, and you know what's going on, you've seen their football team, you know they can't practice, schedule someone who can play. And then you might have had games this weekend. You'd have had league games. But instead they went this way, and we got here, and now you got a war of words, and Leon Rice is upset, and everybody's upset, and New Mexico's upset the way the league handled it. The league's upset with the way New Mexico couldn't play. Boise State's upset because they're not playing anybody. Everybody's upset. Welcome to COVIDia, right? Welcome to sports in the age of a pandemic. Could it have been avoided? And then, how do you get out of it? And could San Diego State have stepped in because they were supposed to play Colorado State, but Colorado State's got COVID issues, so they can't play? Nobody will play this weekend as far as in-league competition. 505-246-0610 is how to get in, 888-922-0610. I got emails, Jeff at 610knml.com or JJ at 610knml.com. Holiday season, man, 3 weeks from today is Christmas, boys and girls. Time to take care of everything and everyone. Gentlemen, do not forget to take care of you. How you feeling? Could be better, right? Are you dealing with lack of energy, low T, maybe erectile dysfunction? Then I strongly suggest you call NewMail. Right here in Albuquerque, NewMail's helping thousands of men all over the country take care of themselves and feel better. Pick up the phone, call them. The number is 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or visit NewMail, NUMALE.com. Taking care of yourself and feeling better is easy. The process is comfortable from the phone call through the treatment, and the results are real. NewMail can help you with ED, depression, even hair loss. Start the process by calling 505-652-1688. As men age, these things are natural. There's nothing to be ashamed of. But the beauty of NewMail is you can battle nature. You can feel like you again, and that would be the perfect gift. Do something special for yourself, fellas. Call NewMail, 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better.
Home. Put it to work with a home equity loan.
Put up. And a drive from
Ramos wants another.
Opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores. Cut into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer for Murillo. Ball's played up. Rodriguez with it. Gonna settle. Looks to the inside. Comes to the far side foot. Shot on in. Goal. Deflected in. No.
Dorian's gonna go all the way. It was blocked by the rim. Get it out, says Kobe Wade. Ramos, got it. Look out. Ramos, can he chase it down? It was a freebie. Saved it. And then stolen. And somehow Hasbury's got it back. Handoff. Watson.
Get it stripped. Calion stripped him. Come Highland the other way. Win up top to the big goal. Here he comes.
For the lead. great game plan. Look at this.
Agbayosi throws it down.
Let's see if Melfi can cash it in. He's got some protection. Deep ball. Erickson's open. Touchdown, Monarchs.
Second and 10. Smith looking, and he's going to fire over the middle, and he's got his guy. It's another big play. Walking away for a touchdown, Tristan Altier.
They're going to hand it off to Chavez. Chavez breaking tackles. Look out. Chavez up the sideline. Stays in bounds. Touchdown. Volcanovic.
That replay,
I
just
got
get
you.
the measurement. I mean,
Smith's got a fire on first down, and he's on the outside. There's a lot of room for Brad Thomas. A move, and he's set free. Dance into the end zone. Touchdown. So it goes.
He'll run with it. Stumbling. Gets down into the end zone. And looking to throw it. And he throws it in the end zone. Caught!
First and 10 from the 11. And spin move for Smith. Push the B button. Dance into the end zone.
He'll throw it. Looking. Here comes the rush. Stepping up. Javier now running around. Being chased. Looks across. Throws it up, man's wide open. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Jimmy Gaye. Chavez dropping, looking, stepping up. He's going to run. He's got a lot of green in front of him. To the end zone. Touchdown. Rio Rancho, Isaiah Chavez. Chavez set. He's going to run with it again and dives and...
It's Austin Smith, and to the outside, a lot of room. Look out, a foot race down the sideline. All the way on the first play from scrimmage, Chris. That's a touchdown.
Scrambling. And off, great hit. He bounces off outside. Got some daylight at the 20, the 10, the 5. What an incredible run.
So Lobo basketball will not play at Boise against the Broncos this weekend, obviously, and they're a little upset. Which, okay. How do you feel that was handled? Is Boise State right? I think I know how you all feel. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and Micah on the TV side. You got Alden and Josh producing for you. You get Lady Lobo basketball tonight, 5 o'clock. What time's pregame start? Is it 4:30? What time? 4 o'clock? You get an hour pregame?
4:30.
Okay. I was like, dang, you're going to do an hour pregame on the women's basketball as much as football, huh? All right. God bless them. Equal rights. Equal opportunities. With the voice of the Lady Lobos, J.J. Buck will have the call. The Lobos in Midwestern State. Is that right? Midwestern State? Where are they playing this game?
Midwestern State. Wichita Falls, Texas.
That's right. That's right. Got good buddy opened up a cookie shop in Wichita Falls, like crumble cookies is what it's called. Ooh. Gourmet cookies. So when you're there, JJ, they're not open yet. They're still doing the build out. I was going to say go by after the game in beautiful Wichita Falls and go get some crumble cookies. I got people everywhere, man.
Sounds scrumpy.
Everywhere. Yeah, doesn't it? I got people everywhere you could find. Lady Lobos get going tonight. So if Nikki Heckroth isn't available, according to Bad Street, Lancer is the OD answer. How about Lancer as JJ's color guy? Man, Lancer's getting pitched for a lot of gigs now. Post-game host. He could be your analyst. Huh?
You better get that resume together.
It's really not my call. Lobo Hobo says, replying to Rudy C., David versus Goliath. Really, Jeff? Wyoming is Goliath? Really? Wasn't it just a couple of seasons ago at a frigid Thanksgiving weekend in University Stadium, the Lobo football averaged like 50 yards a play against the Pokes? That was,
what does that have to do with what happened Saturday?
Yeah, that was 4 years ago. That was the last time Lobos were in a bowl game, right? The 9-4 year. So was that 5 years ago already? 4 years. And where they did, by the way, run up and down the field. But that has really nothing to do with what happens now. Lobos were kind of good that day. Actually, that year. They were 9-4. They were actually pretty good that year. They led the nation in rushing. I'm not sure how you correlate that into now, but you can do what you need to do. Tommy, good day. How you living? You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Tommy.
Hey, guys, I was hearing something earlier about Lance being the color analyst, but the first thing you should do, because I'll do it for pizza and some Mad Dog, is get Tommy the Truth on your show, because I will lay the truth down. Now,
just for some pizza and some Mad Dog?
You guys were talking about these Luke Paul, what is that guy, the internet brothers that fight, correct?
Were we talking about that? Oh, the afternoon guys were? We weren't.
Yeah, I think so. Something about these guys that fight. He fought a basketball player or something like that, knocked him out.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, Nate Robinson. First of all, those guys, I think one of them saying he wants to fight professional fighters, be a professional boxer and fight.
For pizza and Mad Dog.
Colin McGregor next. Bro, stay in your lane. Fight these scrubs, because if you get in there with a real boxer, unless it's set up or something, or a real UFC guy, you're going to get knocked the hell out. Stay in your lanes. I'm sorry to change the subject from this morning, but I wanted to talk about it last night, but I didn't get on in time. But, I mean, they made a great living from it. They're popular on YouTube. And it just goes to show you could be a couple of schmucks and make money. People will buy anything.
Happens all the time. All right, man.
All the time. But stay in your lanes, guys. Don't go out there and try to fight regular boxers or UFC guys, or they'll get crushed.
That's why they're professional fighters. All right, Tommy, be well. JJ, professional fighters are trained to fight. Now, I'm not familiar with these guys that they're talking about. The guy that knocked out Nate Robinson. All right, so he knocked out a basketball player. I guess he knocked him silly, too. Have you seen it?
Yeah, he went down hard.
Yeah, and that's great. Professional fighters are a different world, okay? Professional, that's what they do for a living. Have you ever fought? Like, have you ever screwed around? Have you ever played with a professional fighter, boxer, MMA guy, a wrestler, anything like that?
No, I have never put myself on camera in a boxing ring with a professional.
Okay, so I'm not bright, and I got that. Years ago, when I did the iChallenges back at Channel 7, remember a guy named Max Heyman? He was a light heavyweight fighter around here, had a career. He was a professional fighter. His dad Harry was his trainer, and so he says, "Well, let's go and we'll do an iChallenge. You get in the ring with me." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll get in the ring with you. I can fight." Flippin' idiot. And so I had the headgear on and went out and we did this dream sequence where I wailed on her and we play, I'm gonna go knock you out. Mama said knock you out, and then knocked him out and they wake me up. And so we actually kind of went in. I'm throwing and I had my hands up. He throws a left right and they slowed it down for everybody at the TV station to watch, because he went left through my gloves and right to the side of my head, just boom, and you can see in the video just everything boom into it, and you can see my knees buckle. But before that, he leaned in, like I caught his shoulder, it cracked my rib on my left side. And this, we're just screwing around for one round in a ring with a pro boxer. And he's just toying with the TV guy. But when he threw that left, right, and you watch, and I did want to get up. Bob Brown was shooting it, and he's like, "No, dude, just stay down. Don't do it again." I'm like, no, I could go. And I still to this day believe I could have gone more and taken more punishment. But, dude, getting hit hurts. And pro boxers, and I don't care if you're an internet fighter and that's what you do on the internet. I make a living beating people up. That's cool. I learned right the first time you get hit, boom, getting hit hurts. Like you get desensitized to watching guys jab on TV, and these guys just sit there and take it. It's another world. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever done.
I don't want any of that smoke stepping in with a professional anything unless it's like a horse competition. I think that could be the safe way to get involved with the professional athlete. But yeah, it's a joy of being a fan. You can sit there watching someone get pounded and be like, what are you doing? Keep your hands up. Throw the jab. Throw the hook. Come on, get off the rope.
What's he thinking? Yeah. Get up, get up, get up.
I don't want
That
to
dude just got hit. I know. I'm tired of getting hit. Getting hit hurts. It's I didn't see. I heard it was brutal, the Nate Robinson thing.
The best thing about it was Snoop Dogg was on the commentary, and you need to watch a clip just for Snoop Dogg. He's like, "Oh Lord, Nate Robinson."
Because I heard it was insane. Yeah, I heard it was insane. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Number one goes down yesterday. The longest win streak in the nation is over. Who, how, what, and why? On the opening drive, next on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And
Here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku. Oh. Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam on home.
I'll just get a little closer.
Oh, instead it's a gorgeous pass.
Here's what he'll
just shoot it.
He's going to go all the way.
He's gonna fire at the buzzer and he hits.
Great pass, Hadbury, and thank you very much.
Tie in the district. Inside. Fly. Eagle.
Chavez uses some athleticism. And then Morris down low, able to finish. You called it, Steve, in 10 seconds. And look at this. Stripped, stolen Watson. Christian Lucero beats the buzzer. Here's Ian Chavez, the sharpshooter. Got it.
Could have said that any better. He answered the question. He
On
got
a
another
steal
one.
at the buzzer. Back to back for Chavez.
Medina from the volleyball line. Medina wants another one from deep. Oh, he wants 10. Give him 10!
Lewis finds Watson. He's going to finish. One-handed slam. Vista, but just all the different scenarios we can see potentially play out ahead of the state tournament.
Oh, all right. So what did Lance say? How? No, because that's not what it says. I turned a different shade. Uptown, downtown. Well, happy Friday. Feel like Friday now? Kind of. First Friday of December. Vaccines are on the way, JJ Buck. Whatever that means. Oh, I got lightheaded. 246. Yeah. Go. 2460610. Come on in. 888-922-0610. Longest win streak in the nation was snapped yesterday. Top ranked women's basketball team, South Carolina, 29-game win streak, JJ. Ended at home in front of that not so big crowd. They were upset by 8th-ranked North Carolina State, 54-46. First loss for the Gamecocks since over a year ago, November 28th, 2019, when Indiana beat them in the Virgin Islands. They didn't lose again last season. They won, they were ranked number 1 in the country. They didn't win a national championship. Why? Because they didn't play a tournament. They're number 1, and obviously I didn't see any of it, but that's a big deal. 29-game winning streak, tied for 3rd longest winning streak in the history of the SEC. Yeah. Ova. You watch any college hoops last night?
I did, dabbled in some of the hoops, watching UConn, USC, had some Pac-12 action going on. They had the couple series that started last night, Washington, Utah, and then Arizona State, Cal.
No Pac-10 action, or Pac-12 action. Did you catch Air Force Utah State football? Did you watch the Mountain West football last night? Air Force looked nice. It looked cold, dude. It looked crisp and cold, and just like what it started at 24 degrees was going down to 10. And Air Force just ran it down their necks last night. Utah State took the opening drive methodically, went down. I think it was like a 15-play drive, real slow. And you're like, wow, look at Utah State. And that was it. Thanks for coming. Good night now.
Yeah, Andrew Peasley picking up where he left off after the Lobo game. You're like, maybe this kid has some. I still like his traits, his athleticism. I think he throws a fine football, Jeff. It's got a decent spiral on it.
He throws the greatest spiral ever.
You're seeing this Air Force team really, they've rounded the corner and they're coming into form. They got Caden Rimsberg back. Brad Roberts is just still destroying people at the fullback position, and Hazik Daniels has been fantastic the last couple of times out. In the limited passes, he was actually 9 for 17. They threw the football 17 times last night, and it was 7-0 Utah State. And you look up, and Air Force scored 35 straight points.
35 straight. Remsburg only carried the ball 11 times, was north of 100 yards. He had 107 yards in the touchdown. Daniels was 7 of 9, actually. 7 of 9. They threw the ball 9 times, according to what I'm looking at, for 127 yards, but still pretty efficient. I mean, still really efficient. They did whatever they wanted. And Utah State struggled. So does it make you feel any different about the Lobos losing to Utah State? I mean, these are the last two games. They lost to Air Force 28-0. They lost by 2 scores to Utah State. I don't know that the comparative scores tell you anything. Do you feel any different about the Thanksgiving game, or do you feel still the same way? Damn, that was probably when they got away.
Feel the same way, or it just reinforces the fact of how that game got away from the Lobos in the third quarter. I think Air Force is better than we assumed, given the way that they have played the last few times out. And really, it's kind of, you just look back at the last 2 third quarters for New Mexico. One, they were outscored 28-0. One of those was a defensive touchdown from Utah State, and then the one against Air Force where they forced 3 turnovers. And it's that tough line for this team. Like, there's spurts, there's moments where they are playing better football and you like them, and then they come crashing back down to earth. And absolutely, looking at this weekend, I don't think it's crazy to say this is like a David versus Goliath game when you're going in with your 4th-string quarterback. Could this be a crazy day and the unexpected happens? You always got to leave that door open, man. It's sport. This is going to be a very challenging day for an offensive line that struggled with Tavaka and Trey Hall at quarterback. I mean, if you know Wyoming is going to sell out to stop the run and say, all right, Connor Janal, can you make any plays? Because you got some one-on-one opportunities on the outside. Let's see what you got.
I was on that same field in that same stadium years ago, the famous Justin Millay game, right? That you hear about all the time, where they found this guy, Justin Millay from Silver City, because they had nothing else, and he ran like crazy over UNLV. I was on a call yesterday. We're talking about the Las Vegas Bowl being canceled and UNLV's game not being played this week, and I said, strangely enough, UNLV can't play this weekend at home. The Vegas Bowl can't be played, but New Mexico is playing in Las Vegas. This is how crazy this world is right now. Lobos will play a home game in Las Vegas, but UNLV can't play their game this weekend. And they can't play the Las Vegas Bowl, but New Mexico can play a home game in Vegas. Feel fortunate you're playing right now, boys. That's all I'm saying. Feel fortunate they're getting, because the Lobos' first game got canceled, and not because of COVID testing, right? Because of they hadn't practiced. They couldn't play a game. Knock on wood, since then, they haven't had a game canceled. Everybody else has, except for Nevada.
And 0 positive tests out of the program since they've been in Henderson.
Yeah, your Mountain West schedule this week, and the Boise State UNLV game got canceled. Last night you had 35-7 Air Force over Utah State. San Jose State will be at Hawaii. They moved that game out to the island. San Jose State's just a 2-point favorite there. Colorado State plays San Diego State in Carson. Aztecs are an 8-point favorite. Fresno State plays Nevada in Reno. The Pac is a 7-point favorite. That's an interesting game, actually. Fresno State's 3-1. And then New Mexico, Wyoming. That game is the late game, 8:30 on CBS Sportsnet. 17.5 points. Too much? With a 4th-string quarterback?
I think that's a fair number, and Wyoming has a chance to cover that number.
Okay. Yeah, I see what Wyoming. I think if Valladay plays, although they run, man. I mean, they run anyway. And I don't know if Valladay's going to play.
Well, where did I put my notes?
I don't remember.
Oh, sorry. It was right in front of me. Well, Trey Smith finished the game for Wyoming against UNLV, and all he did, 24 carries, 164 yards, and a touchdown. So they're a machine up front.
Well, I mean, they run the ball. By the way, UNLV could have played. It was Boise State who had too many positive tests. So they could have played that game. But I'm just telling you the irony of what's going on in Vegas, right? UNLV is not playing. The Vegas Bowl's not playing, but the Lobos are playing there, which is, again, a testimony and a testament to what they've done and how they've bubbled and how they've kept this thing. I mean, they're if you're looking for a way to do it, in all reality, New Mexico's kind of a model for that, with 0 positives since they've gone and bubbled up and done what they're doing. I'm not telling you everybody should or could do that, but you could probably do what they're doing in your town. You could just sequester and say, hey, you're not seeing your friends, your girlfriend, whatever, for 7 weeks. It could have been done. It would have been more expensive. But I don't know. You'd have to weigh the lost television revenue up against the expense of putting your team up. 505-246-0610. Come on in today. 888-922-0610. Nick Saban thinks he's got the cocktail, the cure for COVID. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'll just get a little closer.
Oh, instead it's a gorgeous pass. Hill's gonna just shoot it.
He's gonna go all the way.
He's gonna fire at the buzzer and he hits.
Great pass, Hadbury, and thank you very much.
Tie in the district. Inside. Fly. Eagles.
Chavez uses some athleticism. And then Morris down low, able to finish. You called it, Steve, in 10 seconds. And look at this. Stripped, stolen Watson. Christian Lucero beats the buzzer. Here's Ian Chavez, the sharpshooter. Got it.
Said that any better. He answered the question. He
On
got
a
another
steal
one.
at the buzzer. Back to back for Chavez.
Over the paint. Medina from the volleyball lines. Medina wants another one from deep. Oh, he wants 10. Give him 10.
Lewis finds Watson. He's going to finish. One-handed slam. Vista, but just all the different scenarios we could see potentially play out ahead of the state tournament.
Moreno extra pass. And Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's going to run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
I mean, Ramos' hand. And
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
Boy, Jefferson wide open. Getting
Jefferson to Daraji! Into Watson with the jam!
Another steal by Davina Lovato, and here comes Agbaiosi. Lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. Well, the lob, tagged by Osi, the one-hand hammer.
Put up. And a drive from Parham.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Riddle me this, Batman, as we enter December, and now NFL football for November is over. A little history was made last month. Can you tell me who became the first kicker in the history of the NFL to make 6 50-plus yard field goals in 1 month? Riddle me this, Batman. Oh, you need clues. He played in the New Mexico Bowl in that year that you guys were just telling me about. He kicked a 52-yarder into a 40-mile-an-hour wind. Come on. Woof, woof, woof. Jason Sanders. Jason Sanders. I have said this for probably a little over a month now. He's the second best kicker in the NFL. I believe that. I think there's Tucker at Baltimore, who's just unbelievable. Give me a better kicker. He's bad. I mean, Young Wei Koo, who's a better kicker in the NFL right now?
I think Jason Sanders can lay stake to that claim of being the second best field goal kicker in the NFL.
I think that's right, which would mean in the world, by the way. But, yeah, congratulations to him. First, I didn't know that, first kicker in the history of the league to make 6 50-plus yard field goals in the same month. He's been on our show before, by the way, a veteran of this show, a New Mexico Bowl alum, a Lobo, and I do believe the second best kicker in the league. And it was 2 weeks ago at Reno, where you missed 4 damn field goals for a program that's had such good kickers with him and, I mean, Kenny Bird and Wes Zunker and John Sullivan. And there's so many good kickers who've come through here, and he may be the best. Sully was a first-team All-American. And then to miss 4 field goals and lose that game by possession.
No, that was the Air Force game.
That's right. But you'd have been, I mean, right in that game. Yeah, that's right. You didn't score. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Micah's producing on the radio side. It's Josh and Alden on the ProView Network side back there downtown at the ProView Network cave. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Nick Saban is traveling today, or at least that's the plan, with Alabama to go to LSU. He is been cleared, supposedly, he says 100% after his COVID positive test. He's 69 years old. He tested positive on the 24th of November. SEC protocols require a minimum of 10 days of quarantine. He said he had only minor symptoms, that he had a runny nose. He claims, now here's the cure. He claims he got an IV treatment last weekend that, quote, worked wonders. Whatever was in this plasma deal Can't you hear him? Whatever was in this plasma deal, it knocked it out in one day. From Thursday on, I felt great and 100%. I would certainly recommend that treatment for anyone that could get it, end quote. I mean, I'm sold. 69-year-old Nick Saban. I don't know, man. I don't know what Trump got when he had it. It was remdesivir, I guess, which works on some, doesn't on others. The plasma treatment worked on Nick Saban, whatever. Man, that's the crazy part of this virus, is it's so different with so many different people, right? But good for Nick Saban. I think everybody's happy that the young man is ready to go and go back to work.
It's good seeing everyone recover in this situation, whether it's talking about Tom Izzo, now Nick Saban, players that have been going through it and able to come back. You're right. Everyone is affected differently by it, and different things work for different people.
Yeah. Are they a 30-point favorite? Did I see them as 30-point favorite over
Isn't
LSU?
that an outrageous number? Like, it's just even with as much as LSU lost from that team, and they were a historically good team last year, you don't expect a drop-off like that from LSU. But they have fallen off a cliff. 30-point dogs at home.
It was this calendar year, and it feels like it was 100 years ago. It was this calendar year I was in New Orleans at the Superdome and watched LSU win a national championship. They were good. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Joey Burrow. I mean, that team was good.
Justin Jefferson.
I don't understand what the Justin Jefferson. Look, I understand a fall off. But 30-point dogs. I wonder if ever, and I'm going with another if ever, has a defending national champion been a 30-point dog at any point in the next season? 30, dude. I mean, that means they expect them to win like 40-10. What's the over/under on this thing? I'll find it for you. Right, but it's insanity.
Yeah, it's an outrageous number, but I think what it does, it shows you how bad LSU has been, but the rarefied air that Alabama is in right now. There's pretty much 3 programs, and mainly 2, that have just, you want to go back 5-10 years, have been kind of constant regardless. Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State. Well, Ohio State might not have the natty, they got the players.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's in there. And Oklahoma would have an argument for that because they're there a lot. But yeah, the over-under 67. So what are we looking at? Like a 40? No, 50-10, right? 50-10 is only 60, or 50-20. So, yeah, they're expecting like a 47-7 kind of a game. How many is that? That's 54. We're not even close. Get me to 67 with a 30-point spread.
57-10?
That's 47 points. Yeah, it's a 47-point spread. It's insane.
I'm just thinking like how you start pushing those numbers to get kind of crazy.
Yeah, 37-10 is at 47.
Yeah.
So 57-20, right? Now you're getting close, right? 57-17, something. I mean, that's what they're expecting. Or 57-23. It's insane. All right. I'm looking at Oklahoma's 22 points over Baylor. Didn't Baylor make a run? Was it with Matt Rule last year, right? And look how far Baylor's dropped. It's not like Oklahoma's great. I mean, some of the lines this week are just insanity. You like BYU laying 10 at Coastal? I would take Coastal in the number, wouldn't you?
Coastal Carolina. I think I take BYU in that situation.
You would lay the 10 on the road at Coastal last second game, going out there, no prep. Hopefully that their equipment truck gets across country and delivers their shoulder pads.
Yeah, I think the offense is good enough to keep pace in that contest.
I'm looking at some of the lines this week. Ohio State 24 over Michigan State. Really? Okay. Marshall 23.5 over Rice. Tennessee 17.5-point dogs to Florida. I mean, it really kind of shows the disparity, doesn't it? Georgia is a 35.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt. Well, big numbers, man. Big, and people are going to take those favorites. People would take the favorites. SC plays on Sunday this week at home against Washington State. Big numbers, man. I don't know. Alabama's the best team in the country, don't you think? Are they? I mean, the eye test tells me they're better than Clemson this year, especially without Trevor Lawrence. And I think Uiagalelei has been very nice.
Yeah, I think the difference for Clemson is how healthy is their defense going to be, because that was what hurt them in the Notre Dame matchup. I think they had like 3 starters on the field by the end of the game, because it wasn't a Trevor Lawrence missing issue at all in that contest. So a healthy Clemson, I do believe, is the second best team behind Alabama. While Trevor Lawrence is better than Mac Jones, they have everything in Alabama. Najee Harris, running game, the defense. I think it's those two, then Ohio State, and then Notre Dame, just in terms of pure talent. If we're talking to the top 4 teams in college football.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, I want to talk about one of the open jobs in the NFL and who the politicians in Michigan want for the Lions job. NHL is eyeing the start of, well, they got to get involved with everything, don't they? I mean, hell, legislatures have to get in, and they've already talked to the Ford family. The NHL eyeing a start date. You're going to get an NBA schedule today, too, if that's something that does it for you. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks. In 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal.
Introducing Project Shine.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the 3, and he buries it.
Could be coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish. What a...
Around the screen, against White, step back, it's blocked! JB with the block!
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Has to go, they've got a shot, they have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good! What a 3 that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Don't you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Dunk you lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good...
Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20!
But he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, they're not going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Okay, starts right. Absolutely. The scary thing about Air Force is they're getting guys back that weren't available when they blew out Lobo football out of the built. That's from Garcia. He's talking about Air Force's win last night, 35-7 as they get better. They beat Utah State last night. Gene says, no way Lobo baseball plays, right, Jeff? Whoa, where'd that go? He says, last year after their first game was February 14th, so they would be opening camp like in 4 weeks. Lobo Athletics doesn't have the money to bubble them up somewhere. Of course, I would expect Coach Talk-A-Lot is going to spin this like it would have been the greatest season that never was because of the damn virus. It's from Gene. Gene doesn't like Ray Birmingham. I don't know any of those non-revenue sports are going to get to play. We'll see. Let's see what happens over with the vaccine, and if it does make a difference with the spread over the next few months. We'll see. I don't know, honestly. I think really the focus has been let's play football, let's get basketball going, and then let's see what happens. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and Micah, and Alden and Josh. JJ, you think we see baseball? We see spring sports?
It's almost like it doesn't matter what you think. You just still got to plan for it happening. Have that mindset. If you're a student athlete or a coach, just try to keep yourself on track towards something. And really, that's the only thing you can do right now. And I think the best thing to do is at least give yourself that little bit of hope. Say, all right, let's keep working. Let's keep trying to keep myself safe and hopefully have a spring season at some point.
Yeah. All right. Last week, or just days ago, right? The Lions fired their head coach and their general manager. And now you've got legislators in Michigan asking the Ford family and their owner, Sheila Ford Hamp, to hire a guy who I think is actually going to make a good head coach. Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator of the 49ers. He is a Michigan guy, but he won't get the job because the legislators are now involved. Look, when you're the owner of a team, like unless you're getting big subsidies or never feels like it works when politicians tell athletic directors, owners, sports franchises how to run their businesses, because politicians usually go, yeah, look how you're running the state. Look at your decisions. Look at the issues. But Michigan, there's a group of legislators in Michigan who sent a letter to the owner, Sheila Ford Hamp, and wanting them to hire Sela, who was born in Dearborn, Michigan. He grew up in the state. He played college football in the state. He's got family in the state. He's got long football ties to Michigan State. Quote, this is the letter from the legislators. And I'm always embarrassed when non-football people, non-sports people love to tell you how to run sports. We understand the difficulty of these upcoming decisions. As passionate and loyal Lions fans, we are asking you to hire Robert Saleh as the head coach of our team. He's the best candidate for the job and measures as such across every metric. A head coach like Robert can bring tremendous energy and heart to the franchise and would help us reach peaks that have seemed unobtainable for so long. We have an exceptional opportunity here, and we trust you to make the best decision. All right, how do they know he's the best? Do they know the other candidates?
This is one that it probably will get an interview.
Yes.
But you're right on. It's the sense of you're not telling me what to do with my franchise. So thanks for the interest.
This stat knocked me down. Super Bowl era. So this is Super Bowl 55. So we're talking 55 years in the Super Bowl era. You know how many playoff games the Lions have won in the Super Bowl era? Not how many times have they been to the playoffs. Not when was the last time they. Do you know how many playoff games
they've won
in 55 years?
3.
One.
In 55 years, one?
Won the 1991 season. They haven't won a division title since 93. They're replacing Matt Patricia, who was 13-29-1 in his 2+ seasons. Like you stumble into a win, don't you? Like everybody has won. Give me the worst franchise you know. The Jaguars, the Jets, the Chargers, for crying out loud. Everybody has won. I mean, in 55 years. The Lions, that of all the stats I've heard this week, that one's the one that's knocked me on my butt. That one is unbelievable to me.
You know, it's a small number, but still, one is just wows you.
Yeah. So these legislators felt compelled to write and go off on Sela. Sela doesn't necessarily know these people, but he's got their support. I just don't think he gets the job now. I just don't.
Yeah, it's always a tough situation to be in. You see it so many times. You're in collegiate athletics and kind of the boosters, some of the powerful figures pushing in a certain direction. In this case, I don't remember if there's anyone that's been able to say you got to hire this guy. That usually just comes down from the owner, not necessarily legislators.
Yeah, no, it's got that feel, right, of the boosters. You got to hire Noodles, right? You got to hire this guy. You got to hire Denny. Yeah. Look, man, I don't know who's the best candidate. I don't know who's out there. Is Robert Saleh a minority? Because I know there's a big push and there's an incentive to hire minority coaches. I don't know the answer. Do you?
I believe he is.
Okay, because there's another big story on ESPN about the lack of black coaches, especially, but minority coaches, and why the excuses keep going on. What jobs are open? Houston's open. Atlanta's open. By the way, Raheem Morris did a hell of a job with Atlanta, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's done a good job. Raheem Morris, Romeo Cornell stepping in, getting those guys to play hard. We just watched Houston blow out that Detroit team, which got Matt Patricia fired.
I think Cornell's
you're looking at opportunities. If a head coaching gig pops up, you jump at it. But if you're ranking which job you want to go to, is it Houston, Atlanta, Detroit?
Right now, yeah. But I think the Jets are going to be open. If Chicago keeps going the way that they're going, Chicago may be open. Jacksonville's probably going to be open, right? Do you think they're going to make a change down there? I mean, how much can you keep losing? That'd be 7. Chargers?
Chargers.
I hope the Broncos.
Ooh, Alden hopes the Broncos. Uncle Vic. All right. Hey, I got to bounce. JJ's going to take you home. I've got some bull business I've got to go take care of. I got a call I've got to be on. JJ, best of luck this weekend. Again, if you haven't heard, JJ Buck is the new voice of Lady Level basketball. You'll hear him tonight and Sunday on the Sports Animal, and then do a pregame for football tomorrow. Have fun with it, man. Enjoy it and go kill it. I know you'll do great.
Much appreciated.
All right, before we leave, I got to tell you about Kirtland Federal Credit Union, because if you don't have a down payment for a home, it's not a problem. Get a jump start at Kirtland Federal Credit Union. The Jump Start Down Payment Assistance Program can give you up to $6,000 towards your new home, and it's not a loan. You don't have to pay it back as long as you stay in that home for 4 years. Prices are high right now. A down payment could put that dream home out of reach, but don't let it happen. If you've never owned a home, if you haven't owned a home for the last 3 years, you may qualify. Get a jump start on home ownership. Apply for your jump start assistance today. Go to kirtlandfcu.org/jumpstart. That's kirtlandfcu.org/jumpstart. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, they are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender, federally insured by the NCUA. See you guys.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the long 3.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go. His
Ford driving kick. 3's in the air. It's good.
Nice pass on the nice block by Hernandez Crawford.
And Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalan's going to go when he puts it away. And Corbalan wants to put it down. Here comes Las Cruces. Brown, you can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Gershon in transition. 3-on-2. Gershon going to go all the way. Whoa, Morgan. That ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Forward dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass. Wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3 ball.
steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
A whole little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford set. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake, everyone bites. Ramos hits.
Jackson loses it. Jalen Bond back. LAU. Put it down. Dunkalicious. How about it?
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez through the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provides some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown. Webskowski.
As we head into the final weeks of the season, we know for sure 3 jobs are open, as we were just discussing. Who else could join them? What franchises restarting are going to be on a better path? I think Houston is a fantastic opportunity because Deshaun Watson is that dude. And you're going in there with a good quarterback that has the potential to be elite in this league. Just need some overall consistency around him. You know, Atlanta is a tough situation, as is Detroit with the contracts of the quarterbacks. I think if you're a head coach going into those situations, you'd be confident because at least you have an established quarterback, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, and then there's the teams around the corner that have nothing. You know, the New York Jets, is it a complete rebuild, moving on from Sam Darnold, say, drafting Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, and the Jacksonville being in that same situation. Chicago is interesting because Chicago seems like a stable franchise, right? But they just have never been able to find a quarterback. And it's inevitable that once you saw how good Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson were, that you're never going to live down the Mitchell Trubisky pick. Picking him second overall and seeing both those guys slide down the board, but you have a track record of getting good talent defensively there. It's a stable franchise, seemingly from top to bottom. It's about reigniting that offense, which is what Matt Nagy was supposed to do, but Mitchell Trubisky ended up being a swing and a miss. And then one really fascinating team is the Los Angeles Chargers. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Micah, Josh, all in holding it down at our ProView studios. And the Chargers found their quarterback. The thing is, what is up with Anthony Lynn? Always questionable clock management situations. And how much is it on the coach versus the talent that they have? You know, Justin Herbert right now obviously is a home run. And now, given the fact that they accidentally figured out that he was their franchise quarterback earlier, giving the doctor punctured Tyrod Taylor's lungs, what does that do for the Chargers, Josh? I'm interested in your feeling of seeing this young rookie quarterback blossom into, potentially a franchise quarterback, but given still some of the missteps that you get from that coaching staff.
I mean, it's amazing to see him come out. I mean, I was definitely on the bandwagon of him sitting a year and see what Tyrod could do. he has the talent. He seems to be adjusting and moving forward as the game's going on. But yeah, just those bad fourth down calls, bad clock management. I'd like to see Anthony Lynn stick around. I think he can fix it. I mean, he finally has a quarterback if he gets his defense back without injuries and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it might be his own flaws that, like you said, the clock management, wasting timeouts, thinking about going forward on fourth and then taking the timeout to put your kicker out there again. It's in the NFL, wins count. And as much as I like Anthony Lynn, I like his grit, I like his tenacity, it might be those blunders that cost him in right when Justin Herbert's taken off.
Yeah, and it's those situations that seems like that should be so simple to correct. Clock management, like you can have someone help you with those situations, and it was evident going right before halftime. They just complete this ridiculous pass downfield, letting this time tick off, not managing the situation, and it's possessions like that, it's moments like that when you find yourself in a 7 to 10 point game that ultimately come back to hunt you. And I think Anthony Lynn is a good coach in this league, but it is still mind-boggling when you see guys of that stature still make some of those mistakes as a coach. Simple clock management, play call situations in the second half. You're trying to come back, and it's the little things that stand out to you in the game. It's like 2nd and 6, and you run the football on the short side of the field, and then you're left in 3rd and long when you're chasing the game, and all those things add up. Because you look at the Chargers' job, that would immediately be, I think, the most attractive position out there, even with Deshaun Watson. And we know that he's an established guy, but what Justin Herbert has done has been fantastic. And by the way, Joey Bosa was a monster against Buffalo on Sunday. So it is going to be fascinating watching some of these other decisions, teams that have enough that it's not a complete teardown and rebuild, and what decision do they make going forward. And I think Chicago doesn't have a quarterback, but they're in a similar situation. Like, they shouldn't be as bad as they are. But I think ultimately you go back to Matt Nagy, hired as this offensive guru, not able to develop Mitchell Trubisky, failed with Nick Foles this season. That could be an open job. And these are solid franchises, and I think very desirable places that you'd want to go. So we'll see. So still to be determined. I think we all see the writing on the wall for Adam Gase, right? Like, he's done. And he openly admitted this week. How can you come out and say that you, right? And it's a situation, yeah, you're a winless football team. We know you're not any good. But now you're like, yeah, I guess I could have developed Sam Darnold better. Guess I could have been better developing a young potential franchise quarterback. Like, thanks, Adam, we all saw the writing on the wall when you were following that taco meme floating through the air in your opening press conference. We knew it was doomed from the start. Some guys, before they take a job, that is just not going to work. And it was Adam Gase. Now, second chances, yeah, you happen. You might not have a good situation where you go, but that is one of the hires. I think all of us, for the most part, can agree from the beginning. You're wondering, this doesn't make sense. How's Adam Gase getting a second?
I think you saw it, too, with his first interview with the crazy eyes, and he was just like,
and
that guy wanted out of there before he even got in.
Again, you understand why Adam Gase wears that hat and pulls it down so low, so he's not following the floating taco in his press conference. But it's that time of year. We're getting towards the end. We've already seen some of the in-season firings. But what job is going to be available, and what one do you like? And I think there are some really good jobs open, not just with young quarterbacks, but established quarterbacks that I know the guy comes in, he's going to say, hey, I can turn this around. I can get this going. And maybe even it is a carryover. Like Raheem Morris keeping the Falcons job wouldn't shock me. Romeo Cornell, I think that would be a great situation if Cornell stayed the head coach, but you bring in an offense coordinator. Like, can you get a guy that's maybe not quite, the hot head coaching name, but bring in a rising offensive guys? And then Cornell seems to have a good pulse of that team. They're playing hard under him. You know that he does have that defensive mindset. So you bring in a rising star to work with Deshaun Watson, and that's a team that can absolutely take off in that division. So 2460610 is the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Mike, you're on the opening drive. What's up, Mike?
Morning, JJ. A couple of points. I'll make it real fast. watched the Air Force game last night. I was worried about it after Utah State marched right down the field. If there ever was a season in which they needed a full schedule, this would be it. I still don't think Air Force has much of a pass defense, and I'm not so sure that they're that good this year. The teams they're playing are that bad, so I'm still, kind of iffy about them. But bowl question. I was going to ask Jeff this. I didn't know he had to duck out fast there. Do you know what the bowl criteria is going to be? In other words, in a 12-game season, it's a 6-6 record. So now, if you got an 8-game season, do you have to be 4-4? Can a 4-4 team play a 3-3 team? Do you have any idea about that?
There is no criteria that a team has to meet this season. So essentially, everyone is bowl eligible right now.
So it's possible a team that ended up 3-5 could go. That doesn't seem right, but
it doesn't seem right. But I think it's more so they're still going to fulfill their conference connections. Like, of course, New Mexico Bowl will have a Mountain West team versus Conference USA, etc. So they're still going to fulfill them that way and go down. They're going to take the top team and work their way down. And then some of it, honestly, might come down to if a team can play or not.
And as of now, there's only one bowl game canceled, correct?
There is 9 bowl games canceled so far.
Oh, really? Oh, the only thing I heard was the pinstripe. Oh, okay, I could look that up. And let me give you a little scouting report on Isaiah Chavez, because I know probably a lot of people haven't seen him play. I went to probably, in all his home games, I probably missed 1 or 2, so I've seen enough of him over the years. He's a real good runner. He's a good leader, and the only time he really got in trouble in high school was when he tried to do too much. He's not a real big guy. He's got a decent, not a great arm, but I think as far as Connor and Janelle, is that how you say it, versus him, maybe Janelle knows the offense a little better now. That's why he's in, but I think long range for what the Lobos run, I think he would be a better pick to lead them forward. Like I said, he's 5th string, so that'll tell you something. But still, I think in the future, if he gets a shot, he may do a good job. So you guys have a good weekend, okay?
All right, Mike, appreciate the call. Let's talk about that Lobo quarterback situation coming up next, what they have going into this Wyoming game. It's opening drive on the Sports Animal ProView Networks, World Wide Web, everywhere. We're here for you.
As Pavi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's going to walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. 1st and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown. Webskowski. Day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man! Touchdown! Wild catch! Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Webskowski on the sideline! Asta Manana, he's off to the races! Touchdown, Clovis!
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24 Rancho. Late in the 3rd. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards. He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabbed. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball, he's got some space, and it's caught! Still on his feet, touchdown, Storm! Wow. Santa Maria!
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Speaking about quarterbacks, Alden just made a really good point when we're talking about the franchises that could be open. Is Chicago just cursed at the quarterback position with Jim McMahon, Super Bowl shuffle? Yeah, they were pretty good. And then they somehow, some way, because they had a really good defense, Brian Urlacher was on that team, made it to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. But you can definitely put the Chicago Bears up there with questionable quarterback decisions. I don't think Jay Cutler was that bad. I think it's more of the off the field persona that he has, and this kind of thought process that he was just going through the motions. But yeah, it's going to be a nightmare situation knowing that you took Mitch Trubisky number 2 overall, and Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes drafted after him. And now I wasn't on Patrick Mahomes, but I was all in on Deshaun Watson. Like, how can you not like the guy out of Clemson that won a national championship, that has the athleticism, that can make every throw? It seemed like a no-brainer that he was.
Texas Tech's quarterbacks haven't proved out in the league until Mahomes either. So.
Yeah, Mahomes is just a different beast, just physically, his stature coming over. And also it's the transition for football. Like, that stuff is working more and more now. Basketball on grass. So you're getting a better opportunity. And I think, too, when you look back at some of Cliff Kingsbury, who quarterbacked that team, I'm blanking on other names. But if you look at those guys, they didn't quite have the same traits to be a professional quarterback. That you definitely say it's just a perfect system that they're running wide open. And Mahomes was essentially the unicorn, man. When have you seen a guy like that recently in the NFL, that it doesn't matter the play, it doesn't matter who they're playing, who's available? I'm always picking Kansas City. Like, that's the ridiculous faith I have in that offense right now. And speaking of quarterbacks, giant questions this weekend for Lobo football. It's the opening drive. JJ Buck, Micah, Josh, Alden with you this morning. And just heard Mike call in Rio Rancho, watched a lot of Rio Rancho football games. So the backup quarterback this weekend is Isaiah Chavez, a true freshman. Connor Janal, a redshirt freshman, atop the quarterbacks with Tabaka Tiote, Trey Hall out. And, of course, Brent Hughes, who was the other scholarship quarterback, hurt his shoulder again in the offseason. So you're looking at 4th and 5th string on the depth chart. So expectations, you have to lower them. This is really a game you go, at least show me the effort, run into the football, try to be as physical as you can, because that number could grow by a point or two going in tomorrow. What, it's at 17 and a half right now, favorites for Wyoming. And that's just what's going to happen, man. I don't know what you can expect when you're down to your 4th and or 5th string quarterback at this point in time. And year one, new coaching staff trying to rebuild a program. So it's really all those cliches, attitude and effort, keep your head up, finish strong on Saturday, which you don't want to hear. And that's not the mindset that they're going to go into the game with, but that's the mindset we all have to have watching this team on the football field. And I do think Isaiah Chavez is interesting, a local kid at Rio Rancho. His athleticism could be a plus in a situation where it might just be survival mode for the Lobos, a lot of zone reads, maybe running the quarterback. So I think there's a chance to actually see him in a little bit, not just due to injury, but it's 2 freshman quarterbacks, so why not give him a chance? Because I've been all in on, heck, why not run Bryson Carroll out there? He was recruited to be an option quarterback for the Lobos, of course, moved to running back, and that could be an option. Just try to stay competitive.
He threw a touchdown pass to Devaka.
He's got 2.
He's got 2.
He's 2 for 2 with 2 touchdown passes on the season.
Throw Isaiah Chavez and then Bryson Carroll out there on the goal line for just a little RPO or something, and then see what happens. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Absolutely. I think you could see a little bit of everything from this Lobos offense, starting with Connor Janal, maybe a little bit of Isaiah Chavez. I think Bryson Carroll should get some snaps just so you can at least have a playmaker in the backfield running the Wildcat, and he's comfortable enough taking snaps because he was a high school quarterback all the way through, started his Lobo career as a quarterback before moving to the running back position. And man, it's just one that I think Jeff was right on this week, talking about if you flip the season around, you feel differently about Lobo football. The fact they came right out of the gate and they're competitive with San Jose State, Nevada, and Hawaii. And then you get to the games where you're like, oh, now they should win these ones, have a chance to break the streak. And then they play some of their worst football against Air Force and Utah State. It's incredibly frustrating, even in year one. But it ultimately is still understandable. They have a lot of holes to fill throughout this program, recruiting and player development. And just all the like it's become just what we know with these teams being out of state. And, oh, yeah, they just have to go there to practice and play. But that's outrageous. Like they don't have a weight room. They have dumbbells and stretchy bands. That's what Danny Gonzalez talks about. He's like, we have dumbbells and stretchy bands. You can't really get in a true workout. And when you look back at some of those teams that Rocky had when they really started to turn the corner, it was about being physical. And this is such a hard season when it comes to that side of the game, just the strength aspect, putting to work, deadlift, squats, all those things you need to do to build that base when you're out there just doing the best you can in Henderson. So I think while the last 2 weeks have been incredibly frustrating, there's still so much that the Lobos are going to be able to take from this season. And Jeff says it all the time, like the stories that they're going to have, yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. But you remember that year we lived in the hotel in Las Vegas just to play college football? And by the way, fun fact, y'all, did you know the hotel the Lobos are staying in, that's where they filmed Jersey Shore Family Vacation. So it can't be that bad of a place to hang out.
Right.
So it definitely could be worse.
How did you find that out?
It's some of the information you get when you're waiting for these press conferences to start. So they actually rented that place out and filmed it in September of this year. And then it opened up, and the Lobos are like, hey, we're going to sweep in and hang out. And I can't wait for the Lobos family vacation videos to be posted from their trip. to Henderson, Nevada. Big shout out to all y'all once again this morning. Thank you for joining us. Josh Alden on the ProView side. You guys have a great weekend. Micah, I'll be talking with you later today. UNM women's basketball right here on The Sports Animal. Pregame starts at 4:30 with myself, JJ Buck, on the call. We have Jim Rome Show coming up next. Dan Patrick's Show, Sports Bar, Carlisle and Trujillo at 3 o'clock. Everybody, have a great weekend. Meta World Peace and Love. Talk on Monday.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken.
Call it as Bobby's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly, Cardinals fly. To the other side, provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out! See you later. Good night. Touchdown, Webskowski. All day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man! Touchdown! Wildcat! Not a defender inside. A little bit. Kowski on the sideline! Hasta mañana! He's off to the races! Touchdown, Clovis!
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24, late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's Krebs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep. and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.